Hello and welcome to another episode of the Wild Free Will podcast. This is the first episode of 2026, and I am excited to be here because we are going to talk about just that. We are going to talk about 2026, and we are going to talk about how to make this your best year ever. Now, I want to put a little asterisk on this. I think that you're going to notice some energetic shifts happening in the podcast over the next couple of episodes, no, like from now on, from here forward. I think you're going to notice an energetic shift in the podcast, full stop. An energetic shift in me, in all honesty, because I feel like I have experienced a quantum leap. And it is very interesting because I do not think that happens as often as people in the spiritual realm would like to talk about it and perhaps sell that it does. But yeah, I do think I've experienced one, and I am riding that wave, and I'm enjoying it. So yeah, that's something I'll probably talk a little bit more privately about in the group. But so if you want to know more, then you know where to find me. But what I really want to say about this is that this episode is not for everyone. I'm just gonna put my hands in the air and just say the thing. This episode is not for everyone. This episode is not for the people who are still wanting to play small. This is not for let's make the most out of 2026. Because when I was thinking about this episode, that was one of the things that I was thinking about. Like, what can I call this episode? And how to make the most out of 2026. But but making the most is almost like making lemonade out of lemons. And listen, do we have to be able to also do that? Yeah, we do. We have to have that skill, and we have to be able to see the best in things and look for the silver lining and make the most out of what we have. Absolutely. But I feel like this is different. This is about really deciding that this next year is going to be the best year of your life, and not being willing to settle for anything less. So this is, and we talk about this all the time on the podcast. No compromising, no sacrificing, no settling. We're just not here for that, right? We don't do that anymore here. But this episode goes beyond that, because it's not just about what we're not doing, but what we are actively doing to put us in a position to really get what we want this year. Not making the most of what's coming to us, also doing that. Like, we are always doing that, are we not? Right? That's kind of like the program that's running in the background, and that's okay. But this goes beyond that as well. This is about deciding exactly what you want this year and then moving towards it. And that's pretty much it. So we're just diving in right away. We're not wasting any more time. So what is the first thing that you need to do? And it's so interesting because I often say, the first thing you need to do is, but there's so many things happening simultaneously. So one of the first things that you need to do for this is actually the thing I'm going to talk about last, because it is fundamental, but it's not directly related to this specific topic. It's related to every single topic we will ever talk about here on the podcast, ever. Okay. But the first thing that we need to do is we need to make an actual decision. You will notice that I said this isn't about making the most of this year, but this is about deciding that this year is going to be exactly what you want. That this year is going to be the year that you get everything that you want, that you move towards the goals, that you make shit happen, that you go after your dreams, that whatever it is that has been kind of bubbling under the surface becomes something so prominent and prevalent for you that it's right here, like it's front of mind, it's right in front of your face all the time, right? So how do we do that? We make an energetic decision. This is always going to sound a hell of a lot simpler, I guess, than it potentially is, or like too simple almost, but that is such an important part. So it is imperative that if you want to go after what you want and you want to make shit happen and you want to go after your dreams, that you need to decide. Decide what? Decide that you are going to do it no matter what. Decide that you are no longer compromising, you are no longer settling, you are no longer sacrificing. Decide that you are worthy of having that thing. Like, there's a lot of energetic decisions that are happening behind the scenes before you even put a foot on the ground, right? What do I mean by that? There are so many energetic decisions happening behind the scenes before you even decide to take a step forward towards your goal. And it doesn't matter what your goal is, it's irrelevant. The topic of the goal is irrelevant. It's only about having this idea, having this vision or this dream, right? And then you are deciding that you're gonna do the damn thing, that you're gonna go after it, that it's yours, that you want it, and that you're ready for it, essentially, right? So why is this important? Because we are shifting our energy. This thing is no longer this, well, this would be nice to have, or wouldn't it be fun if, but it's about really getting to a place where you are rock solid in what you want and that you're willing to go after it. And again, the details here don't matter. Not yet, at least. The details do not matter yet. The thing that matters right now is that you can make a decision that you can actually get behind. So you can say to yourself, okay, I want this thing. And that's the end of it. Period, full stop. It's a full sentence. I want this thing. This is the year that I get this thing, whatever this thing is, whatever it is for you, right? Whatever is speaking to you. And the details don't matter because that's when we put the rubber to the road. The details are how we go about getting that thing. But there's no sense in taking the actions if we haven't first decided what it is that we want and that we're worthy of having that thing, right? And then the next step becomes really, truly backing yourself. So when you make an energetic decision, you need to make it be about something that you can actually get behind. What I mean by that is that you can actually back this decision up with your energy. So you can be constantly reinforcing this idea that you've made this decision. You're reinforcing this decision. You are getting behind yourself by, and now we get into the details, by taking action, by showing up fully for yourself, by embodying the version of you who already has that. Like, there's a lot of things that you can do to actually get to that space. But the first step is making the decision. And then the second step is really understanding that you need to be there for yourself. You need to be all in order to get where you want to go, right? And then the third step, which is actually the first step. It's like the pre-step, I would say. Listen, none of this matters if you are not taking care of yourself. Can we say it again for the people in the back? None of this matters if you are not first taking care of yourself. If you are not already showing up at a very high level of self-care and really making sure that your energy is where it needs to be, you can do steps 1 and steps 2 all the live long day, and it's just not going to land in the same way. You need to be showing up for yourself first, always. So you know what self-care looks like for you. I'm not even going to get into breaking down what it could be. There's other episodes of the podcast for that. But really being clear on making sure that you are well. This podcast is called Wild Free Well. Why? Because we need to be well. We need to be well to do the wild and free things. We can't get to wild and free if we're not well. And our wellness expands by then being wild and free. It's this self-fulfilling kind of prophecy, right? The more that you can be yourself, the more that you can feel free, the more well you will feel, but also the more well you are to begin with, the more that you can be yourself, the more that you will feel free. Right? So if you are not showing up and creating that foundation and that ground zero of wellness, then everything else that you're doing, it matters, it's great, and it helps, and over time it all adds up because everything that you do is better than not showing up at all. 100%. But all of it will land so much more powerfully if you are doing it from a space of already being and feeling like you are loved and cared for. And I don't mean from anyone else. We also talk about this all the time on the podcast. From you, right? From you. That needs to come from you first. And so this is kind of like the secret sauce of how to make sure that this year ends up being exactly what you want it to be. We are not playing small, and we're not really playing games. What I mean by that is, yeah, we are, because like, you know, the game of life and all that stuff, but we're not playing around with what we want. We're not compromising on the thing. We are not settling for less than what we actually want. That's what I mean. We're not negotiating or bartering with ourselves. And there's an entire episode of the podcast on exactly that topic. So if you are somebody who is in a habit of kind of negotiating what you want or negotiating who you are and the way you show up in the world, I would encourage you to go back and listen to that episode as well, because that could be really powerful for like moving forward with this. But we really just kind of want to get clear on what it is that we actually want and then decide that we can have it and decide that we are worthy of it. So my question to you becomes, what energetic decision do you need to make this year to make this year the best year that you've ever had on planet Earth, ever? And then knowing that next year can be better as well. Like next year can also, like, it's this kind of like, we're building a foundation that we can build off of, that we can then continue to incrementally improve or shift or adjust as we go or whatever, like, right, as our visions change or as we evolve as people. Like, this is the foundation. And then we get to decide that things just really do get to be that good. And then we get to go after them. And like, this has been a really interesting conversation for me because I don't know that I have ever believed what I am currently saying to you the way that I believe it now. And there were a lot of things that went into me embodying this space, and I will inevitably talk about them coming up on other episodes of the podcast. But it's just this shift, being willing to really go to bat for yourself and really take ownership of who you are and what you want. It is so massively powerful. And I promise you beyond a shadow of a doubt that it will change the directory of your life if you decide to do that. It is just really, really that incredibly powerful. So what energetic decision do you need to make to make sure to make it so 2026 is the best year of your life? What energetic decision do you need to make? And then from there, what are the details? So how can you show up for that thing just a little bit every day? Every day. And like, I understand that I started this episode talking about quantum leaps, but y'all know how I feel about quantum leaps. I'm just like, not like, it's great. When it happens, it's great. When it happens, it is pure magic. But that's not what we're chasing. We are not chasing the quantum leap, because that too is going to get us down. We are taking the 1% steps moving forward all the time. And I want to say too, because I do feel like I've experienced a quantum leap, and I am incredibly, immensely grateful for that. But I want to ask you a question. Do you think that it would have been possible for me to experience the quantum leap if I didn't show up for myself in the small 1% increments that I have been showing up for myself over all of these years? Is one possible without the other? Miracles. So yes, the answer is yes, it is possible. But like, how much more likely is it that it happens and that one day everything just sort of like clicks and something shifts and you feel like, holy crap, like I've totally just up-leveled and like I'm not going back. Like, it's not even a possibility for me to go back to where I was before. Do you think that that's more likely if you show up for yourself that 1% instead of hoping and praying that like one day something will just click? And it will, and it can. But why not, like, meet yourself where you're at? Why not take that one step forward every single day to kind of get you there? Or most days, because we don't do consistency like that here, right? Like, we're not about anything every single day. We do it most days. We show up for ourselves most days. We show up to the best of our ability, to the best that we can with what we have available to us. And we are always okay with that because we know that it is more than enough. Yes, yes, indeed. So this is where I leave you. I hope that this episode has served you, and I hope that you take what I've said, and I hope that you use it, and I hope that you make it so this year genuinely is the best year of your life ever. And if you would like some support in doing that, listen, reach out. I'm here to help. But I would love to have a conversation with you, and we can talk about what even working together would be like. It's whatever works best for you. So if you are interested, reach out to me, and I would love to have a conversation with you about what working together would look like. And if you want to go even deeper with me on this and every other topic, then you can find me in my Telegram group, the Wild Free Well Space, and there will be a link below in the show notes. And I would love to have you there as well, because like there's a lot of juice happening there, a lot of personal shares, and yeah, it's a really fun space to kind of just be all of who you are and to explore the possibilities of what could be for you and what's possible for you in your life. So yes, if that's something that speaks to you, then I would love to have you. And otherwise, I just hope you have the best weekend. And I hope that your 2026 is off to like one hell of a banging start. And yeah, I will see you on the next episode of the podcast. Ciao.